Tiffany Henyard is the talk of the town, not just for being the mayor of Dalton, but also for serving as the supervisor of Thornton Township, a dual role that has sparked more drama than a reality TV season finale. While she portrays herself as a dedicated public servant, committed to maintaining essential services and improving the community's image, controversy seems to follow her at every turn. The FBI is reportedly investigating her administration for alleged misuse of local funds, a claim Tiffany vehemently denies, calling it a baseless attempt to frame her. Her side business has only added fuel to the fire, raising eyebrows and drawing even more scrutiny to her leadership. Juggling two major roles may make her seem like a determined trailblazer, but critics argue it's a recipe for conflict and mismanagement. With allegations of financial misconduct looming and questions about her ability to lead both positions simultaneously, many wonder if Tiffany's ambitions have finally caught up with her. Tiffany Henyard wears many hats, quite literally, as both the mayor of Dalton and the supervisor of Thornton Township. On the surface, she presents herself as a champion for the people, ensuring pavements are fixed, trash is collected, and residents receive assistance with essentials like electricity bills. With a superhero aura, she's quick to step in with resources, sometimes even using township funds to support those in need, which critics argue resembles a personal charity. Despite earning over $200,000 annually from her dual roles, more than some Dalton residents make in 5 years, her leadership has sparked heated debate. Supporters see her as a tireless advocate for the community, while detractors label her a super mayor in the worst way, claiming she holds too much power, too many jobs, and not enough focus to handle them all. The criticism has only intensified since her election as mayor in 2021, with growing concerns about how she balances two of the most demanding roles in local government. Dalton was once known for its close-knit community, charming small-town vibe, and lively events like parades and festivals. But lately, all eyes are on Tiffany Henyard, and not everyone is happy about it. Her leadership style has been called crafty by critics, especially after she founded her own breast cancer organization. On the surface, that sounds admirable, right? It would be if taxpayer money wasn't allegedly being used to fund it. While Tiffany juggles her dual roles as mayor of Dalton and supervisor of Thornton Township, questions are swirling about whether it's appropriate for her to finance charitable efforts with public funds. Sure, charities need funding to operate, but should it come from the community's pockets? Meanwhile, Dalton is facing a financial crisis, with a deficit of over $2 million. That's no small change, and residents are starting to wonder if Tiffany's double-duty leadership is helping or hurting the town. The numbers just aren't adding up, and all eyes are on Tiffany Henyard. Despite the mounting scrutiny, she's standing firm, insisting that both her roles as mayor of Dalton and supervisor of Thornton Township are legal and essential. But with all the heat coming her way, people are starting to wonder, is she truly serving the community or is she serving herself? What started as local gossip has now escalated into a full-blown federal investigation. Yes, the FBI is in town and they aren't here for small talk. Agents are reportedly questioning residents, digging into financial records, and following the money trail to see if Tiffany's been dipping her hand in the public cookie jar. From her business dealings to her use of township funds, everything is under the microscope. What was once just town chatter has become a national spectacle, with the feds working overtime to uncover the truth. Whether Tiffany will emerge unscathed or see her career crumble remains to be seen. But one thing is certain. The stakes have never been higher. The FBI isn't here for friendly chats. They're on a mission. Agents have their ears to the ground, listening to every whisper and rumor about Tiffany Henyard. But Tiffany isn't backing down. In fact, she's ready for the fight, telling everyone to bring all the smoke. She claims it's all a big misunderstanding and insists she's being set up. But here's the thing. The FBI doesn't just roll into town for no reason. They've taken it up a notch, moving beyond simple questions and straight into high-tech surveillance. Word on the street is that they're tracking her spending habits with advanced electronic monitoring. With every dollar under a microscope, Tiffany's every move is being watched. While she maintains her innocence, many are left wondering, is this a setup, or is the truth finally catching up with her? This isn't a Hollywood spy movie, it's real life, and Tiffany Henyard is the star of the drama. But it's not just about the money anymore. The FBI is digging deep into everything, her charity, her political fund, and even her personal business. No stone is being left unturned as they try to uncover if there's more to Tiffany's financial dealings than meets the eye. And just when you thought it couldn't get any juicier, enter Keith Freeman, Tiffany's right-hand man. He's out here claiming she's under constant threat, which is why she's surrounded by heavy protection. Meanwhile, Tiffany is doing her best to project calm and composure, but with the heat from the feds intensifying, many are wondering how long she can keep it together.
Security detail. So we have about 45 officers in our village. My security is warranted due to the fact of threats and things of that nature, but what people are not stating is it's in our CBA. That's our collective bargaining agreement. That's our union contract. So it comes with the seat. That's what people are not saying. I didn't make this up. I didn't just create this and say, I want security.
How many officers is it?
How many officers is what?
On security detail.
I'm not gonna say how many due to the threats on my life. So,
but if it's in your CBA,
it is in my CBA. I'm not doing anything wrong. I even went to court due to the fact of people suing me saying I cannot have a security detail, and I won. The judge said I can't have a security detail because it's already in a CBA.
Is there more to the story, or is Tiffany Henyard really under threat as she claims? The FBI seems to think there's more, as they've been interviewing business owners and former employees. Some allege that Tiffany has been dishonest, using her influence to target those who don't support her financially or politically. While Tiffany dismisses these claims as baseless, her credit card transactions tell a different story. How does the mayor of a small town justify luxury hotels, first-class flights, and high-end dining while Dalton faces a $2 million deficit? It seems like Tiffany has been living a life of luxury, indulging in what looks like an endless vacation. But here's the kicker: it's the town's residents footing the bill. For a community grappling with financial hardship, this has only fueled frustration and demands for accountability. Taxpayers might think it's just a few perks here and there, but Tiffany Henyard is the mayor, not the president, and the benefits she's enjoying go far beyond what most would expect. Reports reveal thousands of dollars in charges to township credit cards for hotel stays, upscale dining, and other expenses. This pattern of spending has been going on for a while, and it only seems to be escalating. Allegations have surfaced that Tiffany is using these credit cards for personal expenses, not just official business trips. With what appears to be unchecked access to the town's funds, she's allegedly taking full advantage. And then there are the billboards, large, bold, and all about Tiffany. You might expect them to promote Dalton or local events, but instead they highlight her image and message. The real kicker? Taxpayers are footing the bill. Critics argue that state law prohibits the use of public funds for self-promotion, but Tiffany seems unbothered, brushing off the backlash with little concern. This growing list of accusations is fueling outrage among residents, who are demanding answers and accountability.
They say, like for instance, City of New Orleans has a policy that city officials don't fly first class.
Okay.
Do you have that?
We do not.
Do you believe you should have a policy? Because again, the critics are that you're flying first class, that you're staying in four-season hotels, high-dollar hotels, having what they call extravagant dinners, and those are your critics. Are you as a city official, in order to make sure that you'll be on reproach, looking at establishing a city policy in terms of how money is spent when traveling?
This is the way I feel about it. People will talk about anybody because they're not doing the work. They only talk about the people that's at the top, the ones that are doing the work.
Taxpayers might think it's just a few perks here and there, but Tiffany Henyard is the mayor, not the president, and the benefits she's enjoying go far beyond what most would expect. Reports reveal thousands of dollars in charges to township credit cards for hotel stays, upscale dining, and other expenses. This pattern of spending has been going on for a while, and it only seems to be escalating. Allegations have surfaced that Tiffany is using these credit cards for personal expenses, not just official business trips. With what appears to be unchecked access to the town's funds, she's allegedly taking full advantage. And then there are the billboards, large, bold, and all about Tiffany. You might expect them to promote Dalton or local events, but instead they highlight her image and message. The real kicker? Taxpayers are footing the bill. Critics argue that state law prohibits the use of public funds for self-promotion, but Tiffany seems unbothered, brushing off the backlash with little concern. This growing list of accusations is fueling outrage among residents, who are demanding answers and accountability. People are left wondering how Tiffany can justify all her lavish spending when the town's finances are in such bad shape. It seems like she's living in an alternate reality where money grows on trees and budgets don't exist. Yet, Tiffany remains steadfast, continuing to claim her innocence and defending her actions, insisting that everything she's done is above board. However, with the FBI now involved and allegations swirling, the question remains, is she truly as innocent as she claims? As more and more people start to connect the dots between her excessive spending and Dalton's growing financial troubles, tough questions are being raised about where the town's money is really going. Is it being used to fix infrastructure and support the community? Or is it being funneled into her personal pursuits? Is the money being spent on improving roads and funding schools, or is it going toward financing billboards and Tiffany's jet-setting lifestyle? It seems like running the town should be about serving the community, not just about splurging on personal perks. And it's not just the money she's spending on herself. Remember that breast cancer charity, the one that's been called into question? Turns out that's been funded with taxpayer dollars too, leaving people wondering if Tiffany is really trying to help others or just making herself look good. Now Tiffany Henyard is fighting back, providing her explanations for the chaos surrounding her. Have you ever heard of a mayor who requires constant bodyguards? Tiffany insists that she does, and she's speaking out fiercely against all the accusations. She claims that she is the victim in this drama and that the whole affair is a setup. Tiffany argues that her security detail isn't just for show, and that her life is truly in danger. It's serious, she says, and the FBI's investigation is just part of a larger conspiracy against her. What danger is Tiffany really in, though? Or is this just another tactic for her to enjoy the good life on the taxpayer's dime? Tiffany insists that everything she's done is legal, but where are the documents and receipts to back up her claims? She argues that the trustees are the real problem in her life, the true villains who are blocking her progress, while she is the hero trying to save others. But who is really telling the truth here? Tiffany is now asserting that the FBI investigation, lawsuits, and charges are all part of a larger plot to remove her from office, and that they have nothing to do with her conduct. Is this just a strategic move to escape accountability, or is she truly the target of a bigger scheme? And what about all those luxury hotel stays and expensive trips? Are they really necessary for the job, or just another example of her questionable spending? Tiffany has an explanation for everything, quickly defending herself by claiming that her role as mayor requires her to travel in first class and stay in five-star hotels. But when people started questioning these lavish expenditures, she stood firm, insisting it was necessary for the job. However, Tiffany isn't the only one in trouble. She's also juggling several lawsuits from former employees. But according to her, these lawsuits are just more attacks from her adversaries. She believes they are pawns in a larger scheme to bring her down, not because of her own wrongdoing. But the drama doesn't end there. At the center of it all is Keith Freeman, her ex-boyfriend, who has a lot to say about the bankruptcy fraud allegations looming over him. Freeman, once Tiffany's right-hand man, is now cooperating with the FBI to protect his own reputation. But is he telling the full truth, or only part of it? Freeman, who has been charged with bankruptcy fraud, could have stayed quiet, but instead he chose to help authorities. His cooperation could ultimately change the course of the investigation, potentially ruining Tiffany's case. Tiffany's extravagant spending habits are being exposed, thanks to her ex-boyfriend Keith Freeman. Freeman, who has been by Tiffany's side since she became mayor, was present for all the lavish dinners and trips that are now under scrutiny. Given his insider knowledge, he's in a position to reveal crucial details if he's cooperating with the FBI. Tiffany's legal team is reportedly using Freeman as part of their defense strategy, but this could backfire if Freeman decides to spill everything he knows. If Freeman shares the full extent of what he witnessed, Tiffany's claims of innocence might quickly unravel. As Freeman works with the FBI, Tiffany could find herself unable to play the role of the wronged party anymore. Freeman has made it clear that it's not just about the money. He was right there with Tiffany when these spending decisions were made, suggesting he knows far more than she might want the public to know. The big question is whether Freeman's testimony could be the key to uncovering the truth about the missing millions and the financial mismanagement happening in Dalton. It's becoming clear that Tiffany's former right-hand man could end up being her biggest problem, as his cooperation with the FBI may shine a light on the secrets she's been trying to hide. There's a major financial discrepancy surrounding Tiffany and Dalton, and it's raising a lot of questions. Tiffany has been boasting that she's generating substantial revenue for the town, claiming to be bringing in $15 million. But here's the problem. Despite these claims, Dalton is facing a $2 million deficit. The numbers just don't add up. If Tiffany is truly the powerhouse she says she is, generating millions, why is the town's financial situation deteriorating? Despite her claims of being the breadwinner and a fundraising expert, the reality doesn't match up with the town's financial records. While Tiffany insists that she's helping the community thrive, the town's balance sheets tell a different story, one of growing debt and financial instability. It raises the question, where is all this money really going? How can Tiffany be bringing in millions while Dalton's finances continue to spiral downward? The mystery deepens, and it's clear that something is not adding up in the way Tiffany is managing the town's funds. It's impressive, but when the town is still facing a massive deficit and taxpayers are footing the bill for Tiffany's lavish lifestyle, people are starting to ask hard questions. Tiffany's defense is that she's bringing in money, but the trustees are the ones failing to pay the bills, leaving Dalton struggling financially while she enjoys the perks. However, Many are questioning whether the money she's claiming to bring in is even reaching the community or just padding her own pockets. With accusations of using public funds for personal expenses, people are beginning to doubt her true intentions. Is Tiffany genuinely working to improve Dalton, or is she using her position to enrich herself at the town's expense? Her spending habits, including personal charges on township credit cards, are raising red flags. While raising millions is a good thing, it's hard to ignore the financial mess Dalton finds itself in, and residents are wondering if Tiffany is truly putting the town's needs first or just her own. Her attempts to deflect attention from the real issues at hand? While Tiffany continues to enjoy her luxury lifestyle and boast about her financial success, Dalton is facing mounting financial struggles. Despite her claims of bringing in $15 million, the town's deficit continues to grow and the bills are left unpaid. People are starting to wonder, where is the money actually going? The FBI is diving into these financial discrepancies, raising questions about whether Tiffany's actions are truly in the best interests of Dalton or if she's using her position for personal gain. The numbers aren't adding up, and as federal agents scrutinize receipts and transactions, Tiffany seems to be trying to divert attention with humor and pop culture references. But can she really hide the truth behind jokes and deflections, or will the investigation reveal the full extent of the financial mess she's responsible for? Only time will tell, but the situation is looking more serious by the day. Are working after all. Tiffany has certainly mastered the art of public relations, using her charm and unique style to sway the opinions of some. Despite the mounting criticism and the FBI investigation, she's been engaging with her supporters, especially the younger crowd, by being active on social media and making her meetings look more like performances than serious political events. Some call it an unprofessional stunt, others find it refreshing. But the core issues remain: the financial turmoil in Dalton and the unanswered questions about the missing funds. Tiffany deflects this by calling the backlash a smear campaign, framing herself as the victim of a larger conspiracy. Her loyal supporters rally behind her, attending meetings and defending her actions online. But for how long can she maintain this diversion from the financial reality Dalton is facing? The questions surrounding her spending habits, her alleged misuse of public funds, and the mysterious $15 million only continue to grow. It's clear Tiffany's antics are working, for now, but the truth is still out there, and it seems the battle for her political future is far from over. Tiffany has certainly built herself a dedicated fan base, and while her supporters praise her, not everyone is on her side. The town is split, with many calling for her resignation while others continue to back her up. Amidst the chaos, Tiffany is doing her best to address the growing drama, emphasizing her commitment to transparency and accountability, yet refusing to step away from her lavish lifestyle. Yet she even challenges her critics, daring them to call her bluff. However, it seems the more drama she stirs up, the more attention she gets, with every post on social media going viral and sparking conversations across the town. Tiffany's notoriety has turned her into a local celebrity, though not everyone is thrilled about her newfound fame. The real turbulence, though, is just beginning. Despite her public efforts to put on a confident face, there are still multiple lawsuits looming, and the FBI is closely monitoring her every move. As the pressure builds, it's clear that the tension surrounding Tiffany's leadership is far from over. What will become of Tiffany, the most talked about mayor of Dalton? Her troubles go beyond a simple math book, as she now faces the full scrutiny of the FBI and multiple lawsuits from former employees. 3 ex-workers are suing her, claiming they were fired for refusing to assist in her alleged corrupt activities. But the FBI isn't just quietly observing. They've stepped up their investigation, questioning business owners and former employees about Tiffany's actions. From her attempts to punish company owners who didn't support her to her efforts to hide public records, there's a lot to dig into. Despite Tiffany's insistence that it's all a setup, the feds are carefully tracking every dollar she's spent. If these lawsuits succeed and the FBI uncovers any wrongdoings, Tiffany could face severe consequences, including losing her position, hefty fines, or even worse. But don't count her out just yet. She's proven she knows how to work the crowd with her social media stunts and flashy board meetings. She might have a few more tricks up her sleeve. One thing's for sure, though. The drama is far from over as the FBI continues to dig deeper and more individuals come forward. We're in for some major revelations. Who knows what kind of bombshells are going to drop next? Some people are convinced Tiffany's days are numbered, betting she won't make it to the next election. But there are still plenty of ride-or-die supporters who argue that she's brought more attention to Dalton than anyone else ever has. This story is far from over, and it's unclear what new twists and revelations are coming next. Tiffany may think she's in the clear with her board meetings and flashy public image, but from where we're sitting, it looks like the storm is just beginning. So, is Tiffany really the victim of a setup, as she claims? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? As the FBI continues their investigation, who knows what they'll uncover? While she seems to be living lavishly off public funds, many are questioning if that's really the purpose of being a mayor. Fans are starting to doubt Tiffany's innocence, and some are arguing that politicians like her will continue stealing millions until they're held accountable. After all, thieves must be prosecuted and removed from office, regardless of their background or status. How much longer can Tiffany avoid facing the consequences of her actions?